So there's been another twist in the Edward Snowden NSA wiretapping scandal. David Miranda, who is the partner of the Guardian journalist working with Snowden, was detained by British police under Schedule 7 of the Terrorism Act. Miranda was held for 9 hours at Heathrow Airport in London whilst on his way home to Rio de Janeiro from Berlin. During those 9 hours, which is the exact maximum amount that you can be held for before you must be released or formally charged, the officials confiscated his mobile phone, his laptop, camera, memory sticks, DVDs and game consoles. So Schedule 7 of the Terrorism Act allows British police officers to stop, search and question and detain individuals at airports and border areas if they are suspected of terrorism. Individuals detained under this law do not have the right to remain silent and they have to cooperate with police questioning. Neither the Home Office or the Metropolitan Police will say why Miranda was detained, but interestingly enough, whilst he was in Berlin, he visited Laura Petraeus, the US filmmaker who has been working on the Snowden leaks, along with Glenn Greenwald from The Guardian. So, your comments. First up, we have this one on the piece we did about the Carlisle group. It was part 2 in our series of Who's Really in Control. It said this: do I like this? Are you serious? More. I live for this. I wish I knew how to play detective like you guys. Can I come along? I'll buy coffee. Really, if you buy us coffee, you can always come along. And one of the top comments on our video that showed Morsi supporters did not push a police van off a bridge came from Youssef Ibrahim, and it said this: Morsi did not fulfill his promises and his duties as president. He was driving the country into the ground. He failed to deal with the economy or any of the other pressing issues that needed resolving, but rather he focused on giving power to his party, and slowly he's becoming the same as Mubarak. He failed as president, and the Egyptian people saw that and demanded change. And last but not least, on our video about scientists growing a miniature working human heart in a petri dish, McPhaser said this: now put it in a recently deceased monkey. Perfect. His Grace with another controversial story involving the Met Police.
The Metropolitan Police in London has said it is assessing new information about the deaths of Princess Diana and Dodi Al-Fayed in a car crash in Paris in 1997. However, it's also stressed that the assessment is not a reinvestigation into the couple's deaths and that it's also not a part of Operation Paget, the police investigation into allegations that Dodi and Diana were murdered. For those of you who don't know, Dodi Al-Fayed is the son of Mohammed Al-Fayed, a businessman who used to own the famous Harrods store in London. For many years, Mr Al-Fayed maintained that the couple had been murdered by British security services. The Met Police has said it will not discuss the source of the new information, but several news organisations have been reporting that it is the former parents-in-law of an unidentified SAS soldier, and that the information includes a claim that the British military may have been involved in Diana and Dodi's deaths. Now here's Laura with some fracking news.
On the 19th of August, as in today, fracking protesters blockaded the headquarters of not only the energy company Kiwa Driller, but also the PR firm that represents it, called Bell Pottinger. This video shows activists at the Bell Pottinger offices in Holborn, London, who have superglued themselves to the door of the building and then used so-called lock-on arm tubes to stop anyone else from getting inside. Anti-fracking campaigners are currently taking part in a 6-day Reclaim the Power action camp in Balcombe, West Sussex, where the energy company Kiwa Driller has begun to carry out exploratory oil drilling.
Bell Pottinger, shame on you! Bell Pottinger!
You might be interested to know that Bell Pottinger is the PR firm that ran many campaigns for the former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, and in 2011 was representing the Bahrain government. You can find out more about fracking by clicking on this link here. Now here's Adam.
Less than 2 weeks after a US federal judge ruled that Bitcoin is real money, Germany has become the first country to recognise it as legal tender. And basically that's bad news for any German who holds Bitcoins, because now they have to declare them as part of their income and assets on their annual tax return forms. And then they have to pay 25% tax on any profits they make from Bitcoin transactions that year. But simply holding Bitcoins doesn't mean that German Bitcoin users will have to pay tax even if they go up in value. The problem is that the idea of having to declare your Bitcoins to anyone, especially the government, completely undermines the original concept of Bitcoin being an anonymous peer-to-peer form of currency. So does this new ruling make them completely pointless? Let us know what you think in a comment.
Well, that's it for this week's Monday show, but you can check out some of the other amazing videos we've made on the left here, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you again next time.